Hey everybody, what's up? It is Martika from Martika Braid Bar. So recently I was asked a question and someone asked if on my booking site I have a form, and usually this form is just so everyone has a clear idea on what to expect for their appointment. I can't cover everything and every detail, so I try to get everything in a nutshell, well, more than a nutshell, but I try to get as much as possible what to expect on the form. So someone had asked me, did you have these experiences in the past? And because I noticed there was a lot of scenarios, and I said everything that is on that form I have experienced. What I want to get into today is a conversation I've been having with my mother. My mother, as I've told you guys in the past, she is a salon owner. She's been in the industry for over 30 years. She's been running several establishments on her own, and so we both had a nice sit down and we were talking, and she came to me recently and she said, so I had an experience, and I did reach out to her asking for her consent. I'm not going to go too much in detail, but I'll share as much as I can to draw my point. So basically she had a client, and the client was from out of town, and they recently moved closer to Toronto. And they're looking for a stylist. And from what my mom explained, this individual had booked an appointment, and my mom offers several services. I just do specifically braids and hair care. My mom offers services like wig installations, passion twists, etc., etc. And so the client comes and gets a service from my mom. My mom other stylists. So what she would do is she has other stylists for, I believe my mom had someone like take care of her wash and her treatment, etc. And then my mom was going to take over and complete the other service. And based on conversation, in a nutshell, she had booked someone prior, and the person had taken some money and then pretty much bailed. And it really sucks, and it's unfortunate, and I can see how upsetting that is. And my mom was accepting and accommodating and was able to fulfill the her last minute needs. Awesome. She is in the chair. My mom's, the other stylist is finished with her. My mom takes over. My mom starts to go through the process of the service she's getting done. In the middle of the service, my mom had a great conversation. Everything was going excellent. Great conversation. They're having a good time getting to know. And in the middle of the service, out of nowhere, she flips on my mom. She starts to nitpick. She starts to criticize, and she starts to, she's just very dissatisfied with the process. So my mom walks her through and explains, obviously I wasn't there. This is just briefly in a nutshell. She explains to her, look, I'm not finished. This is a part of the process. They get into it. The individual now says, you know what, I found you online. I seen a lot of great reviews about you, and I'm not satisfied, and I'm going to leave a bad review, etc., etc. And in this moment, this sounds very familiar to experiences I've had. And in this moment, I thought to myself, now I wasn't there, but the other stylists, thank God my mom wasn't alone, because the other stylists that my mom has working, they were there. They witnessed everything. They seen the process, and they also worked with. Now she's not satisfied, so she takes over the service. When she takes over the service, my mom allows her, steps back and allows her, from what I was told. And yeah, and it's just a big deal. So one of the stylists, my mom's stylist, comes by and says, the girl starts to complain and says she's going to leave bad reviews. And the lady says to her, the stylist says, look, we have cameras in here. We have cameras, and everything is recorded. Everything is, nothing was done. We're doing our job as we're following the process. We're following the steps, and you're not allowing us to complete our job. We have cameras. So even if you leave a bad review, there's no lies can be told, because the cameras will reflect the whole situation. So the client calms down. She calms down. She's aware now there's cameras. There's no lies to be told. Everything is documented. The whole service is documented. because my mom is been in the field for a very long time, a lot of times I do have moments where I do reach out to her and I tell her about good experiences and bad experiences that I have. And I usually like to ask her, have you ever been through this? Do you experience this? Are you going through this? Like, because I just want to make sure, like, okay, I just want to make sure things are kind of smoothened out. And, at one point, I used to be like, I'm going to be honest, I would be like, I'm having a lot of issues working with female clients. I want to do the services. I'm open to doing the services. I'm not chasing to do the services. I'm open to doing them. And then I said, maybe I just don't know how to do female services, and men's services are just a lot. It's just a knack for me. Like, I can do it. But at the same time, I've had past experiences where people would see me and say, oh my God, I've had experiences like even 10 years ago where I wasn't even advertising braiding, and people would gravitate to me and they'll be like, oh my God, I want you to do my hair. I didn't advertise, I didn't market myself. You approach me and you're like, oh my God, girl, I really want you to do my hair. And I would take on the job and they would flip out. They were not happy. And it's like, but I did exactly what I did to my hair, to your hair, which was what you asked me for. So I've always been trying to wrap my head around this situation. And I would go to my mom and I would say, I don't know what it is, but I am having so many issues. And my mom is obviously, she is older and she's been in the industry, and the industry has changed a lot. The clientele has changed a lot. A lot of clients have become really savvy. So they see perfection on social media, and that's exactly what they're expecting, perfection. And in reality, not everyone comes in with the foundation to be able to get that result. They're not going to get perfection if you don't come with the foundation, a good foundation at least. And so fast forward, my mom says, she spazzes out. She is angry, she is frustrated. So I'm not going to go into detail, and there wasn't a lot of detail shared with me. It's a personal thing from my understanding. There's been some let's just say family breakdown in this individual's case, and from my own understanding, and when you understand the client and the background and the service, then you kind of piece things together and you realize, okay, this is not a me issue. This person is having there's a family breakdown and the person is in the heat of the moment. And to be very honest with you, the stylist that was working on her did mention that, she was going through some stuff. And before you took over, my mom's name is Jody. So Jody, before you took over, she was already going through some stuff. So, and then it gives you an idea, okay, it's not me. So in that moment, my mom came to me, and when she said to me, she's like, now I understand what you're talking about. Now I understand why you don't take on certain clients, why you don't take on certain services. I didn't understand it before, but I understand why now. And the generational difference, obviously my mom's been in this industry for a long time, so she has her solid base clients. She has her solid clientele. She takes on new clientele, but she already has a solid foundation, 30 years of experience. I am a fresh leg in the game. So I'm building my clients. I'm really grinding. I'm marketing. I'm putting myself out there. I'm meeting everybody. I'm literally going out there and marketing myself, and then I'm sifting through. I'm hiring and I'm eliminating pretty much, like, you know what I mean? I'm taking on some and I'm letting go of some, and I'm still building that foundation, and it takes time. Whereas my mother, she's been in the game a long time, she has a more solid foundation. I am still building myself. So I'm getting a lot of people that some of them are savvy, or they are online, they're seeing the new innovative styles, etc., etc. They're seeing the process, and they just have high expectations, but there's missing details in the steps and the process. There's no way you can expect somebody to braid your hair if you have no edges. you have to have edges. Now, if I'm gonna go and customize and reconstruct and recreate edges for you, that's a whole process. And that is a lot more than what's expected, standard expectations. So if you want somebody, if you have no hair, I mean, now I'm going into a completely different service because it's not a standard service. And there's these expectations from online, which is not always a bad thing to be inspired, but we have to be very realistic. And also there has to be a level of respect and regard. The reality is that you have a need, and I took the time to be able to meet your need. I could have been anything else, you understand? But I took the time to meet your need so that I can accommodate your need. Also, I have a need, right? I have bills to pay. I have my own life to take care of, which is not your problem, but there still needs to be some value in return, and I do rely on other people. I'm in a people industry where you work on other people. So we both have a need. So there needs to be a level of mutual respect at the end of the day. So long story short, in that moment, I was so validated because when she said she flipped on her, I'm like, this is exactly what I experience all of the time. And it was new for my mom because my mom has a foundation of her clientele. She already has her solid clientele. I am out there. I am meeting new people. I am building my clientele, and I'm building a solid clientele, but I'm still experiencing a lot of that. I used to experience a lot of that. And she flipped on her. And I'm like, do you know how many times, and she pretty much was disrespectful because at one point she literally said, this is why I don't like Toronto hairstylists and this and that. And, and I personally have been on TikTok, and I see a lot of Black females complaining about their horrible experiences with Black salon owners, and it's just this this bickering back and forth. And you know what, usually the best thing is to ignore these things and not get caught up, but it's also good to address it so that if there's anybody else out there having these experiences, they can know that they're not alone. But a lot of times, this is why it's a huge challenge for a lot of people to find guaranteed people, because it's not just about the hair, it's about reliable, dependable people and respectful people. People who genuinely love what they're doing. It's not just a hustle. They're respectful and they appreciate your value and your worth, and they invest into you. You understand? When you look for low value, low services, your results are going to be low value, low services. When you look for, if you're serious enough and you look for somebody who is reliable, dependable, somebody who's investing into what they're doing, they're putting themselves out there, they're allowing you to find them, they're putting themselves out there, they're investing. That person who's investing into being able to help you, you should also invest into being able to help them. And as an old saying goes, the cheapest becomes the dearest.